All right, that's enough. All right, hey everybody. Let me know if my volume's all messed up. Let me take off that text overlay. Sweet. Awesome. I've never used this before, so let me see if I can do this right. And let me know if you guys can hear me okay. My video is going to be kind of like shoddy though, because I'm on a webcam. I do not know how to use my nice camera on the computer. All right, let's check it out. Hey, I started reading The Forgetting Moon the day before yesterday and a recommendation. It was really good. I'm now halfway through the sequel and I love it. Thanks for reviews and suggestion. Of course. Yeah, dude, Forgetting Moon's so good. In my opinion, that Five Warriors Angels trilogy gets better and better each of the 3 books. Hopefully you feel the same. But man, I love those books so much. It's one of those series where I can't wait to forget it so that I could kind of start reading again. I don't have the greatest memory in the world. It seems like it because I can remember a lot of the books that I've read, but that's because I talk about them so often that, repetition, there's some phrase there, but I don't know what it is. Luis, hey, how's your day going? Day's going good. Not a lot going on. Went to the park with the kids. Going to Monster Jam tonight with the kids. Haven't been to that since I was a little kid. And my kids are going to freak out at how crazy that is. So I'm looking forward to that. Hope your day is going awesome. Ernst, are we rereading The First Binding? No, I'm not rereading The First Binding. I'm so glad I'm done with that book. I want another book I want to forget really badly, but for very different reasons. Alan, how close are you to the end, Matt? Keen to hear your thoughts. Well, Alan, I don't know if you know what I'm reading, but maybe you do. I am currently reading book 4 of The Wandering Inn. That is book 4 of the ebooks. And I'm like 23% done with that. And I'm loving it. It's so good. And I'm also reading The Stand by Stephen King, but I'm doing that audiobook. I always listen to one audiobook and read one book at the same time because I like to be able to read while I drive. And I do a decent amount of driving for my job. Less than I used to because my new job is rather close to my house. So I'm going pretty slowly. And The Stand's like enormous. So it's taking me like a whole month to get through that book, which is kind of crazy. The Stand, I am liking it. I'm liking it more and more as it goes along. I thought the first half was very slow, so much build up. And the second half is a lot better. So I'm enjoying that a lot. Easy says, this man's really reading straight up at his desk. Yeah, so I've got like a whole reading setup upstairs. I've got this like nice recliner chair and this like stand so that my ebook can sit there without me holding it. And I've got like these clickers right here where I can not even have to like touch anything. So I can have like a blanket on and just be clicking away the pages. But all of my family is upstairs right now in the bedroom watching TV and stuff. And I cannot focus very well when the TV's on. So that's what I'm doing. Commendable. Thank you. What am I watching? I guess I'm new to this. What you are watching is me doing some reading. And when I catch up on comments, I'll probably get back to it and communicate with you after a little stretches of reading. Easy says, Matt here's reading for the next. Yep, you are totally right, Easy. Yo, you sound good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Fancy Brooks, hey dude. Hey dude to you. Thumbs up sounds good. Awesome. Hello, Justin. How you doing, man? Fancy Brooks, Monster Jam, Gravedigger, the Nostalgia. Yeah, Gravedigger is the only one on the lineup that I'm familiar with. Bigfoot's not there anymore, but as long as Gravedigger's there, I'm good because I bought this huge, my wife and I got this enormous Gravedigger RC car for my 4-year-old. And he's going to lose his shit when he sees the real one in real life. So I'm looking forward to that. Have you read the entire Redwall series? No. I read Redwall when I was a kid, like in grade school, probably like 4th or 5th grade, maybe like 6th grade. My mom bought it for me and I ate it up. And then I didn't realize at that age that there was like an order to the books. So I would just randomly read them. I probably read like 5 of them. I have no idea how many there are. And I'm guessing it's probably not a very easy thing to just jump around in that series, but it kind of worked out. But no, I'm guessing unless there's 5 of them, I don't think I've read even close to all those books. Overrated. Started reading Gardens of the Moon. Yes. Been interested in seeing artistic renditions of the characters. Do you ever care to see art of the characters in the books that you read? I love artwork in the books that I read. I don't super seek it out while I'm reading it. But whenever there's like artwork in the books that I'm reading, it super amplifies what I'm reading. I'll do some. I don't have the greatest like imagination when it comes to reading books. I don't like picture perfectly like characters in my mind. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'm reading more like plot, but I don't like picture these characters perfectly like everybody else. Like, when there's like all these descriptions of characters, I kind of, gloss over it. I read them, but it doesn't like stick in my brain. And so when I see artistic renditions, then that sticks in my brain. So it's super helpful. So yeah, love it, love it, love it. Hello, Matt. Thank you for the Malazan reading guide. I almost said Malazan. Malazan reading guide. You're welcome. I love that thing. It helped me so much, and I wish more people would know about it, because I feel like if you have that guide, your chances of liking Malazan just skyrocket. And without it, there's a good chance that you'll drop out just due to the sheer confusion of it. Tyler, just deleted Babel off my TBR. I can always count on you, Matt, to help me shorten that ever-growing list. Yeah, I got you. I don't, say tons of negative things about books that I read. Normally, I love books. But yeah, if I can help you shorten, I probably added way more than I've been able to take off. So I feel like I'm helping you out if I can get that thing shorter, because my TBR, if it's anything like yours, gets bigger over time, not smaller. Zundi, just wanted to say that I think you're doing awesome work. Love the channel. Thank you. And I appreciate it. That's really nice of you. I have no idea what I'm doing. So if anybody says nice things, then thank you for cheering on somebody that is totally clueless in this whole streaming thing. Jane B, yes, thank you for the Malazan guide. Very helpful. Yep, I got you. I got to pay it forward with that thing. Somebody gave it to me right before I started the books, and I just always wondered why that thing is not more popular. Shaken Bacon, nice name. Audiobooks don't work for me because if I'm doing nothing, my mind drifts off, and I'm doing something, I can't focus on the book. Yeah, I can see that. The trick for me with audiobooks is I only read audiobooks of books that are a little bit more simple. If it's a big epic fantasy with a ton of characters, I can't do audiobook. I will lose it. But if it's, a handful, like a tight cast, then I can really get into those books. And if the narrator is just amazing, then it can really like suck me into that story too. But I very carefully consider every new book about whether I'm going to be doing a physical book or an audiobook. And I look at a number of factors. But yeah, I've read too many fantasy books where I'll get through it and I have no idea what's going on. And unless there's like guides online that I can kind of read every now and then to kind of catch myself up on stuff, then yeah, it is not a good time. It just dawned on me that I should probably share this link with people in my Discord channel, although I don't really know how to get the link. Whatever. You know what? They don't need it. They don't need the link. Who cares? Oriana says, hi, I'm trying to finish Gardens of the Moon. I have like 10% left. Nice. You are in an awesome 10% of the book. The last like 10, 15, 20% of Malazan books are crazy. And Gardens of the Moon is up there with the crazy stuff that goes down. Overrated. I'm also reading Garden of the Moon, 50 pages left, and I'm also interested in how the characters look. Man, a lot of you are reading Malazan. That's awesome. A lot of you are reading Gardens of the Moon. So I hope you stick with it. Baziyar Strategy. Hey there, man. Hey. How you doing, man? John Douglas. What's up, John? Hail, Matt. Good to see you on stream. Let me know if you ever need a guest. Yeah, I don't know how often I'm going to do this thing. It's rare. I have like a family that I like spending time with a lot, and I work a full-time job, and I'm on the West Coast. So all these things combine into the fact that the time that I usually have available to do streams is like, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock p.m. Pacific. And like nobody does streams at that time because it cuts off, basically everybody but Pacific time and like Hawaii. But other than that, yeah, the times that I have available are not the times everybody else has available. So, and that's another reason I can't really guest star on very many other channels. Not like I'm really getting all these invitations to other channels, but that's a reason why it's very rare to see me do that. And I also, like, if I happen to be able to take off some work or leave work early, My wife works in the office that I'm in right now. That's her job is full-time doing telework. And so I'd be like at the kitchen or something, and you don't want to see that background. What's next? Are you planning to read Warded Man? I don't even know what Warded Man is. Hit me up with that, but definitely not. My TBR for this year is all filled out. And unless somebody picks it on my Patreon pick, then it will not be read this year. But let me know what that is. I have no idea. Hamza, thank you for recommending 5 Warrior Angels, my 3rd best fantasy series so far. Yeah. Love to hear it. I love to hear it. More people need to find out about this series. I truly don't understand why this series is not blown up. I don't get it. Maybe it's like his publisher's fault and not like advertising the book very well. But it seems like more than any other book that I've ever recommended to people, more people like it. You know, I certainly recommend books that people are like, yeah, you know, I'm mixed on it. But I think maybe out of like the dozens and dozens of people that have told me that they're reading 5 Warriors Angels because of my recommendations, I feel like I've only had like 1 or 2 that like it didn't really work for me. So yeah, Malazan needs to be a massive RPG. Yeah, it's funny you say that. That's kind of how it started. Not a game, but it was like it wasn't Dungeons and Dragons exactly, but it was something like Dungeons and Dragons, where the creators of the series had like a tabletop version of this game that they developed over decades, and that's what Malazan is. Easy. I know what you mean with the glossing over descriptions of characters. I almost never picture the characters in my head as they're described unless I've seen artwork from them. Yeah, it sucks to be us, I guess, because how awesome would it be if you had like this perfect, like picture perfect thing going on in your head? But I cannot do it. I've tried. It's not for me. Tyler, although we tend to disagree on Sanderson, I loved The Lost Metal, but I totally respect your dislike of his comedic attempts, and it can be cringy, but it still gets me. I'm guessing that your disagreement with me is that I dislike some of his books, because I love Sanderson. I still think he's like a top 5 favorite author for me, maybe like number 6, but he's up there. I love his stuff, man. I love the first era of Mistborn. I super love Stormlight. I feel like I love Stormlight more than a lot of Stormlight fans because I really like Rhythm of War too. And a lot of people say that book was like a big decline. Not for me. I love that book. It's just Mistborn Era 2, man, didn't work for me. Hoping Mistborn Era 3 picks it up. Michael, love your channel. Thank you, man. Any thoughts on the Sun Eater series? Yes, I am going to be reading Sun Eater. Let me look at my big old spreadsheet of books, but I know that it is planned, I think, for this year. Get to the right tab. Sun Eater. My computer's going slow. Sun Eater. Yes, I have Sun Eater to be read like 7 series away on audiobook. And so that's a little while, but definitely this year. I'm definitely reading Sun Eater this year. Started yesterday. I heard it's a mix between Red Rising and Name of the Wind. That'd be cool. I like both those. Don't love Red Rising, but I like the concepts in Red Rising. I don't love the writing style, but I love Name of the Wind. So, Justin, I'm afraid I'm too dumb to read Malazan. It's so intimidating. Yeah, dude, I felt the same way. I really felt the same way. I'm not like the smartest guy in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but it is confusing. But it's confusing for everybody. It's confusing for the smartest people in the world. It's intentionally confusing. But if you use like the reading guides, I promise you that you will be able to follow along. You have to put some trust in the author that he does have a direction he's going with it. And that you'll get it eventually, but you're supposed to be confused. So honestly, just jump into it. It's the only way to do it. I've recently started reading Malazan. Dude, I love all these Malazan readers. Yes, this is awesome. Am I attracting Malazan readers because of my content, or am I convincing people to read Malazan? Either way, more people reading Malazan is an awesome thing. Also, love the icon of the Lonesome Crown. Easy. West Coast, best coast, though. Am I right? Yeah. You are right. Hey, Matt, just started watching your videos. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, got a lot of new viewers lately. There was like a Reddit thread on Reddit Fantasy, and my name was brought up on like people to listen to on BookTube, and it impacted my numbers like crazy. Like the most, I usually get about 30 new subs a day. The most I've ever gotten is like 120. And for 2 days straight, I got like 200. So that's crazy. And I am very grateful for it. So Tyler, we need more West Coast streams. They're always going on while I'm at work. Yeah, it's just like how many people are going to watch it, but maybe I'll try it. I'll see. I don't need like a lot of viewers to tune in, just enough to like kind of keep me entertained. Would be cool. Ever read any Warhammer books? I'm a big Warhammer fan, but I've never seen you cover any of them so far. No, I have not. I almost did. I got out of fantasy for a long time after reading A Song of Ice and Fire many times. I thought A Song of Ice and Fire was like the only series that was worthwhile not knowing anything. And then I kind of stopped reading fantasy for a long time. And then I was playing Warhammer 2. And in Warhammer 2, like on the loading screens, they put a bunch of lore up. And I was so intrigued by it. And I was like, I know there's Warhammer books. I bet they're good. I should pick one up. And just as I was about to buy one, I thought, why am I just randomly picking Warhammer? I should go check out what are the most popular fantasy series. And so I went on Reddit and I went to like that poll they do every year or two on like the top fantasy books. And I went with Stormlight instead. And so then I just kind of started going down that list. And I never got to Warhammer. So maybe eventually. Although I hear the books are really hit and miss. So I don't know if I would like commit to like reading the whole series, but maybe I'd like read one or two and see how it goes. Do you have any recommendations for like a really good place to start? Craig, I just finished Forgetting Moon. Yeah. Not a single bookstore in Pittsburgh carries the series. In your point of view, why is this not taken off? Yeah, I think it's publisher. And it's kind of weird how books just take off sometimes. And it needs more people like top to bottom talking about it. It needs like big book. Although I think like Daniel Green reviewed it, and like you don't get a lot bigger than that. So I don't get it, man. Maybe it's too niche, that it's dark. It's really dark. But so is like Joe Abercrombie, and his books are super popular. So I'm going to blame the publisher and say that it's not being advertised correctly, not knowing anything about whether that's true or not. But screw those guys. Mardo, hey, Matt, what's up, man? I wonder what you would recommend I read next, Faithful and the Fallen or First Law? I will say, if you are reading the physical book, read Faithful and the Fallen. If you are listening to audiobook, go First Law. The First Law narrator is hands down the best narrator for any fantasy series of all time. It greatly magnifies how much you can enjoy that series. Benja, I'm reading Umbral Storm. I like it. Nice. Yeah, Umbral Storm's fun, man. It's not like the greatest fantasy book of all time, but it's really good. And for like a self-published book, and most of those are not good. It's really fun. Jennifer, hey, congrats on your first live stream. Thank you. I felt like I was going to burn through these comments and then take a break, but the comments are coming in at about the same pace that I can read them. I also talk a lot, so maybe that's my fault. John, what's up, man? Ever delve into Sarah Douglas? No, I have not. She was much more prominent in the 90s and 2000s, but she's very good. Rip. No. Give me a recommendation. What should I read? Which one? Michael, what's up, man? You've been a subscriber for forever. Thank you. Hey, man, I just saw your streaming, but unfortunately, I can't stick around right now. Will you be going for much longer? Not really. I got to leave in like an hour and 15, but I need to get the kids ready. So I don't know, probably half an hour, 45 minutes more. Also, thanks so much for the boost to Malazan. I love Gardens of the Moon. Yeah. Hell yeah. Jennifer, John, I really love the Wayfarer Redemption series. Yeah, you guys, I have no idea what you're talking about. Batty, hey, Matt, first of all, thank you so much for reigniting my passion into reading books. You're welcome. That's awesome. I love to hear that. The question, which book made you tear up the most? Sorry if I made writing mistakes. Love from Italy. No, man. Or woman. I don't know what you are. What did I tear up the most on? I don't really tear up a lot. I got to say, like, I'll give two different answers. I will say that the last book in the Realm of the Elderlings, I definitely teared up reading the last page from sadness. But I do tear up from happiness reading the Stormlight archive books. There's moments in all those books I'm a sucker for these big like redemption arcs or these like epic moments where, a character's really like, about to make a really good decision, and you're really rooting for them. And I have teared up at those. Christopher, Durfee's Five Warrior Angel series is indeed underrated. His channel is fun to watch too. Dude, his channel is so good. I try to mimic his channel a lot. I'd say like he's the biggest inspiration for me for making my videos, because he doesn't do any editing. And I do editing. I do editing to put in like graphics and stuff. But I try, unless my videos are like huge lists that are like an hour long, where I have to break it up because I can't memorize all the content, then I don't do any edits either. And he's the reason. I loved watching his videos. It felt so unique to me. It felt so amazing that you had somebody that could just talk, I personally, nothing against people that do this, but I don't love it when I see all these breaks and, all these, they want to cut out all the ums and the pauses. And I love that stuff. It feels genuine to me. I want to feel like I'm there. And that's kind of why, a big reason I did start making these videos, is I felt like there wasn't enough people doing that. And so Durfee is a big reason that I am doing my channel. So definitely sub his channel. It is awesome. The Warded Man is the first book in the Demon Cycle series. The first book is short, and I think it's going to be either 4 or 5. I like it. Search it for info. I will check it out, man. I will definitely check that out. That is a long name. H.D. Elliott. Thank you. You attracted me to Malazan. Bought all 10 books. Nice. Just finished Gardens, and I did not find it that difficult to digest. If you trust issues, you may not like this book. Yeah. Dude, if you like, I will say though, if you like Going to the Moon, you are going to be obsessed with the series, because it's like the worst book in the series. Chadia, hello, I'm also reading Gardens of the Moon. Man, everybody's reading Gardens of the Moon. Was it my video? Is that really influencing people? Or is it just random? Because that's a lot of people reading Gardens of the Moon. Jen Ye, I'm glad I'm not the only one who remembers Sarah Douglas. Yeah. Do you play Magic the Gathering? If so, what fantasy series would you like to see? I do not. Never have. I had friends that did. I don't know. It was never my thing as a kid. I was a sports dude. I didn't really. That's what I did every day after school. I did sports and I did homework, and never really got around to that. Tyler, yeah. In regards to Mistborn, I'm an Era 2 guy. Oh, how dare you! But I know I'm in the minority, even among my friends. Going to do Stormlight this year. You've read Mistborn, but you haven't read Stormlight? Bro, you need to get it together and go read Stormlight like yesterday. The Robocoholic. I didn't know Sarah Douglas had passed. M&A, do you not feel like Sanders' books are too much like superhero fantasy and his magic systems are more pseudoscience, lacking mystery? I'm also going to... Yeah, I mean, they are, but I don't read a lot of those. And so I really like to diversify the type of fantasy books that I read. And so, reading some Sanderson for me, especially when I space it out, it really works. I find myself like knowing what I'm going into. I'm going to get this in general kind of good guy versus bad guys. The good guys are going to win. Maybe not in that book, but eventually. And it's fun. But yeah, I can get too much of that, certainly. I like more grimdark stuff. I like the good guys to lose every now and then. And that's not what you're going to get from Sanderson. Tyler, also, I know you do a lot of audiobooks. What are some of your favorite narrators? I would say 2 of them. I don't know their names. I'm really bad with names. But the dude who does First Law, I think it's Stephen Pacey. And the dude that does Gentlemen Bastards. Those are by far the best audiobook narrators. I will never read the physical books of those because I know that they will be worse. And I'll never forget the voices. I forget a lot of voices, but those guys, it feels like you have a whole cast doing them. SHB, do you feel more or less drawn to political Game of Thrones type epic fans because of your day job in politics? Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, I love politics. It's I don't love talking about it in my real life. Like outside of work, can I talk about it every day, all day? But yeah, for those of you that don't know, I work in politics. I'm a chief of staff for a legislator. And so, yeah, that kind of thing, it really draws me in hard. And I can't get enough of it. There's not enough good political stuff like Game of Thrones out there. And I'm always hungry for more. I love watching your best fantasy series. Nice job. Thanks. Yeah, that was a fun series to make. Tyler, do you think Sanders' books are too much like superhero fantasy and his magic systems are more pseudoscience, lacking mystery? I'm also going to... Yeah, I mean, they are, but It's an honor to be among you. Greetings all. It is my honor to be among you. Greetings to you. Moonbot, Nick Offerman audiobook version of The Adventures of Tom Sawyer is a great starter audiobook. Dude, that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. Finished First Law literally an hour ago. It's a great day. Did you finish the First Law trilogy or the Age of Madness? Because if you have not read Age of Madness yet, you are only just beginning your First Law journey, and I'm jealous of you. Did I just get an email or a text or something? Nothing important. Bookaholic, sadly, Sarah passed away. Yeah, that's really sad. A long time ago, actually. She has a trilogy of trilogies in her Wayfarer Redemption and 2 standalone novels that tie into it. Sounds interesting. Sarah also has a 4-book series called The Troy Game. Dude, did somebody hit me up? Oh, man. I'm in for it. My family is texting, and I'm on like this group text. So that's probably going to fire off like a million times because my parents love to send a lot of texts. Peter Vanderweyer, I have not seen your Malazan video since I'm afraid there would be spoilers. I will start Gardens of the Moon next month. I say no spoilers, but you could claim maybe there's some initial spoilers in the first like couple minutes of it because I give some broad overviews of what the series is about. But in my mind, there's no spoilers because it is very high level stuff. Not high level like smart, high level like I'm not going into depth in anything. I'm not ruining any plot lines. I'm not even going to try to say that name. I want to read Gardens of the Moon because you recommend it so much. Yeah, dude, read that book. It rocks. I know Prince of Nothing is on your 2023 TBR list, but is way down there. I absolutely love that series and really hope I get to see you review it. Yeah, I should move it up. I think I will move it up. I hear only good things. Joanna, hello, Matt. Hey, how's it going? Good to have you. Thanks for checking out the stream. Jane, I bought Toll the Hounds, the mass market paperback. I hate those. Yeah, me too. I don't read them because the cover was so cool. But you're talking about the series is what finally made me buckle down and read Gardens of the Moon. Awesome. Wait, did you read Toll the Hounds first? There's no way that's true. Or are you that far into it already? I got to know. I found out about Malazan from this channel. I'm looking forward to reading it sometime. By the way, are you planning on reading The Wandering Inn this year? Yeah, I'm reading Wandering Inn right now. I am reading book 4, and I am planning on reading. I really want to, buckle down on Wandering Inn. So I am reading book 4 right now, and then I am scheduled to read book 5 in April, and then I'll be reading book 6 in probably June. So yeah, Wandering Inn's so good. I feel like almost embarrassed at how like much into it I am because like I think people look like really down on it. People like this like more serious stuff that I do, but it's so good. The trilogy, yes, going to read Age of Madness. Nice. Yeah, read the standalones first though, because you'll get more enjoyment out of Age of Madness. But I actually like Age of Madness more than First Law, and I love First Law. Oops. Stoked for it. Nice. Joshua, you are my current favorite booktuber. That is so nice of you. Hopefully I'm not like the only one that you watch, because then I'd be like number 1 of 1, and I'd also be your least favorite. But yay, I'll take that too. Thanks, man. Matt West, have you read Andrew Stewart? I have not. The Bone Shard Daughter. I've heard of The Bone Shard Daughter. I know nothing about it though. Started reading Robin Hobb's Assassin Apprentice 20 minutes ago, and I can't put it down. If you feel that way about Assassin's Apprentice already, then you are in for an amazing journey, because a lot of people don't love the first book and then they fall in love with the series. That's how I was. But I will say that it only goes up from there. So you are in for it. Yo. God, no. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm here for it. Do you have any recommendations for a multi-POV zombie apocalypse book or series? No, I don't. The only multi-POV zombie apocalypse book that I've ever read was, oh God, what is the book? The one that Brad Pitt made a movie of, that it was not good or anything like the source material. Somebody let me know what that is. How am I forgetting this book? It's super popular. But yeah, that's the only one that I've read. Somebody's got to know what I'm talking about, right? I feel like there was a Brad Pitt movie and it was like super different. Nobody? Going once? Going twice? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was not. World War Z. Yes. Bot told the hounds, then Guards of the Moon. And they said, okay. Nice. Well, good job. Good luck getting your hands on these books because they are not easy to get in a hard book format, if that's what you're looking for. Craig, between Jade City and Poppy War, is there anything that you think Eurocentric fantasy authors ought to take away from Asia-centric fantasy authors? I don't know. That's a good question. You know, I'm probably answering this wrong. I'm very like not PC, but you know, I don't look at books from like how, you know, centric they are in one region or the next. You know, I think they all stand up on their own. They can do their own thing. So I don't know. You know, I wouldn't say that I like any of them more than the others. They all just got to do their own thing and be interesting. Kind of bad answer, but that's what I got. Hamza, just want to say I appreciate your work and dedication to making an hour-long video without making it feel boring. Yeah, you're welcome. They're fun to make, so I get something out of it too. And then I get to talk about books that I like with you all, which is a very self-interested perspective, but that's where I'm at. Jennifer Robin, I'm going to read Wandering In because of your recommendation. I used an Audible credit for the 40-plus hour audiobook. Yeah, they're so... You get a lot of bang for your buck on these. I mean, the book itself, like ebook, is like $3.99, I feel like, for them. And the second book is way longer than the first. What's up, bud? Come here. Hey. Say hi, bud. Eli, say hi. Are you embarrassed?
Not again.
Not again? Say hi.
Mommy, you silly. Mommy. Sorry.
Bye, bud. All right. Love your channel. I love pirate books. What's your favorite fantasy in Malazan? Wait, what's your favorite fantasy in Malazan naval warhero books? Wait, Malazan naval. My favorite. I don't know what this question is. Am I done? I'm going to interpret this to mean, what is my favorite naval fantasy book? Wait. Okay. Well, anyways, I don't know, like, I don't read like naval warfare, but I'd say my favorite naval book has got to be the second book from the Tide Child trilogy by R.J. Barker. It's so good. My second favorite is probably the first book from that. And my third favorite is probably Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch. Love your reviews. Thanks, man. Love you watching them. Do you watch movies? I don't really watch movies. I read. Okay, I take that back. So I read. A big reason I read so much is because I don't really watch much TV outside of like some random like reality shows with my wife. We watch like Survivor and Bachelor. That's like it. And I will watch Disney movies though. I could. Man, I watch a lot of Disney with my kids. But I watch whatever they want to watch. All right, Sprain. I am new to book 2, but I'm glad I found your channel. It's cheerful but honest, and I appreciate it. Thanks. That's the vibe I am going for. So I'm glad that you feel that way. Alex, World War Z is literally next to your head. Is it really? There. It is right there. You're right. I should have just looked back. How did I miss that? All right. I love your channel. I love... Wait, is that... Did I just read the same thing again? I'm crazy. Okay, Benja, even though you work in politics, thank you for not bringing your politics into the channel. I read to get away from the real world. Yeah, man, I hate talking politics in real life. My family always tries to get me to talk about it because I'm like the one person in my enormous family that works in politics, and they all have very strong political opinions on both sides, and I just go to the other room and play with the kids because that's what I'd rather do than chat about politics. Although I'd probably do that anyways because I like playing with kids. Don't forget the first binding is supposed to be a South Asian fantasy. That's true. It is supposed to be that. I would argue, though, that it doesn't achieve it. You know, it's like you wouldn't know it's South Asian unless the names weren't South Asian. Because it's really like you get these like South Asian names and then you get rickshaws. And that's it. You know, it's like take those out and this is a regular, Name of the Wind book. Would you say that Five Warrior Angels is similar to A Song of Ice and Fire? I would say that. Brandley Dearfree definitely used that as an inspiration of his. I would say it's like kind of like A Song of Ice and Fire, but a lot darker. Oh, so cute. Thanks. I assume you're talking about my son who blundered in. Yep. Everybody talking to him. He's a goofball. I'm reading The Last Mortal Bond by Brian Staveley. Never heard of that book. Never heard of the author. All right, but I hope you are enjoying it. All right, Avery. Also, in your opinion, which series is the closest comparison to A Song of Ice and Fire? It's unique. I feel like a lot of books try to be it. I feel like I'm going to not answer your question. I'm going to go in a different direction, but I will say that similar is the Faithful and the Fallen. They're different, but I will say that people that like Song of Ice and Fire usually like Faithful and the Fallen. Matt West, I'm reading second book of Tide Child. It's so good. The characterization hits so hard. Some scenes give me chills. You said that better than I could. That is right on, man. Looking forward to revisiting Malazan in April. They sit on my top shelf. My only complaint is my OCD is triggered by the change of covers for the last two books. I wouldn't know because I throw away the covers as soon as I get them. I get hardback. I toss the covers. I hate the book covers. I know it hurts the resale value, but I don't plan on selling any of my books. I don't even buy books anymore, though. I just unless they're new. Unless like a new book comes out and the book costs about as much as the ebook. But I just get books from my library. I probably spend I read probably like 120 books a year, and I probably spend $50 a year on books. Thanks. Sorry for the wording. I meant like in general, and also in Malazan. My favorite Malazan book is the last one, The Crippled God. And it's like the greatest book I've ever read, not just Malazan. I embarrassingly only watch Boy Meets World and live sports. Okay, good point. I do watch a lot of live sports. I forgot that is TV. I'm a huge sports fan. I'm a obsessive 49er fan. I cannot wait for tomorrow. I'm already like a nervous wreck just waiting for that game. I also love watching baseball. And that has 162 games a year. So that is always on in the background during baseball season. I love reading on my Kindle, but I find that reading fantasy on one is so hard because if you're confused about a character and want to flip through previous pages for more info, oof, that's hard. Yeah, I do a lot of saving. But the nice thing is you can search for things in it. If you remember a term, you can search around for it. The maps is rough, though. But I do love getting books for free from the library on my Kindle, and that makes up for it. Because I did the math, and I was spending like $1,500 a year on books, and that's a lot of money that I don't care to spend every year. What about best fantasy battles? Best fantasy battles. I don't know about like individual battle, but I will say that John Gwen, like all of the John Gwen books are the best fantasy battles. Then it goes the Joe Abercrombie books. He writes awesome battles too, but not quite to John Gwen's level. How do you feel about growing resentment for Europe-based fantasy? I think it's ridiculous. I think every series can stand up on its own merits. I don't like reading books based on that. I just think it's ridiculous. I find this kind of trend. I don't know if it's a trend, but like only wanting to seek out books because they're from a certain gender or a certain location or a certain whatever. Just read books because they're good. Who cares about all that stuff? If they happen to be, like a book set in Africa from a Black woman and it's awesome, read that. If it happens to be some Europe-centric book, read that. But if they're good, read them. Any hopes for Doors of Stone this year? None hope. I feel like we're going to get a lot of hype about that before it comes out. I have no expectations about when that book will come out, nor do I with Winds of Winter, nor do I with The Thorn of Emberlane. 3 books that I have no expectations of coming out anytime soon. Would love to see some conversations with people who have very different opinions about books than yours. I think it would be interesting to have 2 different perspectives. Yeah, I just don't have time to, talk to people in real life on these things. My family goes to bed and then I read a lot and then I do a lot of my online stuff. And by then everybody else is in bed because I stay up super late. I am at the end of Red Country. Nice. I didn't love the standalones as much, not nearly as much. But they're really good. Red Country is awesome. I think I'm going to do this stream for an hour, so I've got about 11 minutes left. Then I got to get ready for Monster Jam. Okay, 58 people. That's a lot of people. Okay, started using a Kindle because of you recently. Nice. I must say it's comfortable. It is. I love collecting books, but I might be going digital only. Yeah, I feel like everybody has the same opinion on Kindles. They think they're dumb. They think I like physical books. I like the way they feel. I like the way I like the way that I like to do things. And I felt the same way. And then I got a Kindle, and within a week I said, why didn't I do this a decade ago? So, and I saved so much money. I saved so much money on getting books from the library through my Kindle that I paid for the Kindle back in like a month. I think Dorothy's Five Warrior Angels pulls from A Song of Ice and Fire, Wheel of Time, Lord of the Ring, Tarantino, and the Discovery Channel. Well put. He would tell you that all of what you just said, I don't know about Tarantino and Discovery Channel, although good point, is he would also tell you that the Tad Williams, is that his name? Tad something? He used that as inspiration a lot too. Any tips for a beginner going into Malazan? Would you ever recommend an alternate reading order? No. How many books did it take you, and how much did you have to look up online? Go watch my video I just did like a couple weeks ago on Malazan. Check out my channel. It's like 5 or 6 videos back that will answer all of your questions and more. Specifically, go read my reading tips section. And for alternate reading order, don't do it until you finish the series. Wandering in audiobooks are a better experience. I've heard that from a lot of people. They're just so long, and I don't read audiobooks very often. Like my commute, I used to drive like 45 minutes each way, and now I'm driving like 15, and we're moving offices, so then I'm going to be driving like 10 or less. So I don't have enough time. I don't want to be stuck to the same book for a month at a time, and that's what it would be if I read Wandering In books. Oh no, go Birds. Oh no. Don't bring that to my stream. Don't bring that negativity over here. End of Blackest Heart is the best battle scene. You're right. I'm going to revise my previous statement. John Gwen overall writes the best battle sequences, but I think the best battle I've ever read was the end of the Blackest Heart. It's certainly the most epic. Thank you. As a follow-up, do you typically, when reading fantasy, find yourself going back and looking at the maps all the time? I am crazy with looking at maps. I draw in the maps. When I had physical books, I mark up my books like crazy, but I am a big map guy. I would like print out maps and paste them into the front cover of the book. I'm obsessed with maps. I work in politics, so but my whole office is just maps everywhere. I agree. Keep the politics out of my books and series. I read to escape this world. Hear, hear. How often do you read throughout the day? Good question. So I read I try to read like an hour before I go to bed, but I usually fall asleep while I'm reading. So I'll say like half an hour before bed. I read for about an hour when I wake up. I read audiobooks as I'm driving. During my lunch break, I'll read for about half an hour. And then at night, right after the kids go to bed, I'll read for another hour. So a lot. I thought this was a sprint. It was supposed to be, but I don't know what I'm doing. And I like talking to you all. I like answering questions. I was going to be a sprint because I thought nobody would be asking questions, and I would just be bored, and I would do that. But I make the rules around here. Jennifer, I generally read with Kindle or audiobook, and then I buy the books that I really love. You just love spending money, apparently. But yeah, my bookcase is all full. I was told by my wife that I cannot buy more bookcases, which was a big reason that I got the Kindle. I'm a parent and I have stuff. Kindles and Libby are the way to go. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I switched to Kindle in November. Also feel stupid that I didn't start earlier. Yeah, dude, everybody feels that way. All right, I'm grinding these comments out now. In regards to battle scenes, Brando Sando, RJ did a great job with the last battle in the Wheel of Time. Correct. A Memory of Light. Yeah, it was really well done. It's one of the better battle sequences I've ever read. It's like half the book, I feel like. But yeah, extremely well done. By the way, I bought Malazan based on your recommendation. Can't wait to start. Yeah, get it. Anna or Anna. Hi, Matt. Greetings from Poland. Nice. Love seeing the international viewers. Have you ever come back to book series that bored you a lot at first reading? Never, ever, ever, ever. When I'm done with the book, I am out. And I have so many books on my TBR that I just feel like I don't have time to go back to books that I didn't like. But I usually give myself a good chance. Like, I almost never will DNF a book before 50%. I want to get to that point. And if I'm not liking it by 50%, I'm done. But, you know, I have, because there's been a lot of books where it's been like 40% of the way through, and then it picks up. Then I like it. But very infrequently, almost never have I disliked a book at 50%. And then I liked it towards the end. That's just not a thing that's happened. Kindles are good, but I feel like they are stuck in their technology in the early 2010s because they don't innovate. That's true. Hearing on that. Have you ever read or considered reading Berserk? No. I don't read manga or manga. Manga? Is that how you say it? I don't read it. I've never been into anime type stuff, and I don't really like comic book style. I bet eventually I will, like when I'm all caught up with like all the big series. And I have a long way to go. I probably have like a year and a half or two left of like all the books I want to read. And then I'll be going through new books, doing some rereads, and then I might get to it at that point. I'm halfway through Before They Are Hanged. I'm loving the series so much yet. Get ready for an awesome ending. All right, I have 4 minutes left. Let's try to grind these out. Yeah, Berserk is epic. Its dark tone might be right up your alley. I hear that. I bet I would like it. It's just not what I'm doing right now. Might mute chat if you want to sprint next time. Yeah, good point. I like this, though. What series have you refused to read for the longest time? That's a really good question. Let me look on the old spreadsheet. So, I think the one that I've refused to read for the longest is The Dark Tower and the Journai Saga. Both of those I'll be reading soon. I'm going to read the first book of those sometime in the next couple months, but I've been putting those off for years. I don't know why. I bet I'll like them. Dark Tower kind of intimidates me because I hear that mixed reviews. Journai, I don't know why I put it off. I know I'm going to love it. That's like an auto 5 for me somehow. I know it. I don't know why I put it off. Devin, if you were to write a book, I would never write a book. I write press releases. I don't write books, but fantasy clearly. But yeah, I've never been drawn to that. Tomorrow I'll start reading Gardens of the Moon. I'm so curious and excited. Greetings from Italy. Greetings. I have Stanley Kubrick in here. That's awesome. I love having celebrities. So love your movies, man. Thanks for answering my questions. I appreciate it. Cheers. Cheers. Hey, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I saw one of your videos that you have a Greek ancestry. I do. My mom is Greek. So all of my mom's side, my yaya and papu were the first generation of that family. And they came from, my papu's side of the family came from Crete, and my yaya's side of the family came from Lefkada. So, yep. Eat a lot of Greek food. Got any tips for a first-time Malazan reader? Tons. Go watch my video. I made a video like a couple weeks ago about this, and I have a specific section that's like 5 to 10 minutes long that says reading tips. Check that out. It is must read for first-time readers. I have a minute and a half left. Let's grind through these. Definitely going to watch your Malazan video now. Awesome. Hi, Mike. I noticed Mike. Matt. Everyone calls me Mike, but I'll take it. I'm Mike. I noticed your 3-star review on Babel, and I couldn't watch it. I'm 200 pages in that book, and I'm still loving it. 5 out of 5. Yeah, I mean, I recognize that I'm probably on the minority on that. I didn't like the second half as much, but I didn't love the book at where you're at as much as you do. I would say what I read at 200 pages in was a 4 out of 5. So I have high hopes that you're going to like it. I have high hopes you like Legend. Yeah, I just sometimes I know that I'm going to love a book, and I'm almost never wrong. And I feel like that's the case here. Captain Contraband, can you do a video like that for 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐩𝐸. I might. My next one's going to be on Realm of the Elderlings and the Darkest Moon. All right. Bye. And I have 30 seconds left. I'm going to end right there. Thank you all for checking out. I appreciate it. Thank you. And as always, happy reading to you.